Hey everyone, Kyle Walker here. If you love cars, fixing things, or just want to understand your vehicle better, you're in the right place. I share hands-on tips, smart driving advice, and straight-up car talk without the fluff. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and stick around till the end. You don't want to miss what's coming up. Let's get into it.
Structural component of the car as a suspension plays a key role in the process of driving, in providing comfort, safety, and controllability of the vehicle. It is constantly exposed to high loads. It takes on the main impacts from bumps on the road. It is the loads and poor quality of the road surface lead to the fact that a number of suspension elements begin to wear out and fail. Among the common failures can be safely attributed to the wear of stabilizer bushings. First, you need to understand what they are designed for, and how you can replace them if the need arises. Why bushings are used. Legitimately, novice motorists are interested in what these very stabilizer bushings are needed on the car. To answer this question is quite simple. Let's start with what a stabilizer bushing is and where it is located on the car. This is the name of a special elastic element used in connecting the stabilizer itself to the body. You can call it a kind of gasket or an intermediate element. This immediately answers the question of where this element should be located and what it is responsible for. Bushings are able to directly affect the level of noise created by the suspension during driving and the stability of the machine. The main feature is that the part is made of elastic materials. This is rubber or polyurethane. The use of such materials contributes to the fact that when the height of the wheels changes, the suspension does not produce any extraneous sounds. One can imagine how the car would behave if the stabilizers were connected to the body directly, metal to metal. The bushings serve as a connecting element between the suspension and the body. They are in constant interaction, and the bushing provides a certain amount of bending reserve. The latter necessarily occurs and changes the distance between the body and the stabilizer when passing bumps in the road. Summarizing, it is possible to distinguish such functions of bushings: damping of vibrations, noise reduction, reliable fixation of body elements, and suspension, ensuring smooth running. Although it is a small part made of elastic material, its role in the design of the car is huge, and malfunction leads to dangerous possible consequences. Signs of wear. The task of each car owner will necessarily check the condition of the stabilizer bushing at the appearance of potential signs of malfunction and wear. There are several characteristic symptoms, at the occurrence of which you can suspect the elastic elements in the end of their resource. Specialists distinguish such signs of wear relating to the bushings of the transverse stability stabilizer, TSS, uncharacteristic. Knocking and noise appears when the car is moving. The car behaves in a similar way in case of problems with shock absorbers. But if these are bushings, then the noise will appear not only on uneven areas, but also when entering corners with a small radius. At the same time, the surface can be completely flat. If you ignore the previous symptom, the situation will gradually become more serious. Then there will be clear signs of malfunction, and the replacement of stabilizer bushings will soon become mandatory. Noise from the suspension increases, and it appears at any impact on the stabilizer. This is due to the fact that the part is already severely deformed. At the next stage, there is a strong roll in small radius turns. The body actively swings even on a level road. On some cars, a backlash of the steering wheel is noted. This is due to the peculiarities of the design of some steering units on cars. As a result, controllability will significantly decrease. The car will start to skid in different directions during standard maneuvers. Read also, how often you should change the car battery. The earlier you react to the situation, the better. This will minimize the consequences and reduce the cost of correcting the situation. To make sure that the element is worn out and needs to be replaced, you can go to a car service center and have it diagnosed. If you don't want to spend money on it, you can do it yourself. Find a pit or overpass to perform the inspection. Do not use elevators or jacks. This is due to the fact that the inspection will require rocking the car and physically affecting the stabilizer. Being on a jack, the car may slip off. The consequences can be extremely serious. A pit and overpass will ensure maximum safety. Visually scrutinize the bushing. Additionally, it is worth using a flashlight, looking at the part from all sides in good light. On rubber and polyurethane over time, cracks appear, tear points become visible. If this is present, replacement is necessary. Additionally, rock the stabilizer, twitch, pull in different directions. If such actions are accompanied by noise and squeaks, then the diagnosis is obvious. It needs replacement. In time not replacing the elastic elements of the suspension, you can face serious and unpleasant consequences. Why timely replacement is important. With the replacement of stabilizer bushings, you cannot delay in any case. There are objective reasons for this. The main ones include the following. At turns there is a strong and potentially dangerous roll. On uneven terrains, the suspension vibrates strongly. Noises and vibrations are not suppressed in any way because the stabilizer bushings should be replaced long ago. The stabilizer bar alignment is impaired, accelerates suspension wear, adversely affects the condition of the body and its geometry. As you can see, there are many reasons to engage in the replacement of stabilizer bushings on the car as soon as the first signs appear. The average resource of rubber bushings is 40 to 50,000 kilometers. Go beyond this mileage is not recommended, even if the suspension behaves stably. The polyurethane resource can be 80 to 90,000 kilometers. Some motorists decide to change worn bushings for the stabilizer independently, following the manufacturer's instructions. Others do it easier, giving the car to specialists from the car service. How to choose new bushings. Before proceeding to replacement, you need to buy a set of new parts. And here motorists have a legitimate question about what option to give preference. In fact, for the production of bushings, two materials are used. This is rubber and polyurethane. But which of them is better and what is suitable for stabilizer repair is an open question. All bushings have their own features. Rubber. For the production of such parts, rubber of increased strength and with high resistance to wear are used. Sufficiently elastic. Polyurethane. The stiffness level is higher compared to rubber, but this guarantees a longer service life. By their characteristics are not inferior to their rubber analogs, but in practice they are changed less often. If you ask motorists what bushings for the stabilizer in the suspension system of the car is better, the leader will be polyurethane, and rubber is gradually moving to the second plan. Moreover, even in those situations where rubber parts are provided from the factory, they prefer to change them to polyurethane. What is necessary for replacement? For independent replacement of the bushings of the front and rear stabilizer, a professional set of equipment and tools is not required. Read also, welding of tires, features of the process, advantages, technology of independent restoration. It is important to understand that the front and rear stabilizer of transverse stability has a different design, as well as several different access to the part, depending on the specific car. Therefore, it is quite difficult to compile a universal instruction for replacement. But usually a similar set of tools is required for all cases. It consists of jack, extension wrench, socket wrenches, ruler, extended socket heads, ratchet. Many people make do with such a minimal set. However, sometimes the fastening nuts get stuck over a long period of use. This is where a product like WD-40 can help. Treat the fasteners with it, allow some time to react, and try unscrewing again. If the matter is serious, you will have to cut the fasteners with a hacksaw or a bolt cutter. It is important to be extremely careful not to hit the rack. Otherwise, the cost of repair will increase significantly. Instructions for replacement. Now about how you can change the stabilizer bushings yourself. Car services are reluctant to take on such procedures, since the service is cheap. Because of this, there is a risk of encountering unscrupulous masters who will look for non-existent problems in order to take more money from you. Therefore, many people prefer to carry out repairs on their own. The following instruction is presented in general terms, but in many respects coincides with the replacement procedure on many cars. The car needs to be set up on an overpass or pit. In the case of repairs, the use of jacks and elevators is allowed, as opposed to checking the condition. But these are still less reliable and safe options. Wheel bolts must be loosened on the side of the problematic elastic suspension element. The wheels are then removed completely. Next, unscrew the nuts that connect the strut and stabilizer. It is these nuts that most often cause problems due to sticking. Having unscrewed or cut off the nut, it remains only to disconnect these elements. Next come the bolts that attach the brackets. There are rear and front. The first just need to be loosened, and the second is unscrewed completely. The old bushing is removed, the landing place is cleaned, all existing contaminants are removed. From the quality of cleaning depends largely on how long a set of new bushings will last on your car. Now to the question of whether it is necessary to lubricate the stabilizer bushings when replacing them. Yes, it is recommended to do this. This will simplify installation. The parts are lubricated from the inside. For lubrication, you can use a simple soap solution or use a silicone spray. The new parts are installed in their places, and the assembly is performed in reverse order. Lubrication is not always mandatory. Often manufacturers put the right amount of lubricant in the part. But if the layer is thin, or there is no layer at all, it is recommended to add additional lubricant. For rubber and polyurethane parts, silicone compositions are used. Only do not use greases containing fats. In the future, if the lubricant wears out, preventive maintenance consists of adding lubricant. Just make sure that it is the lack of lubricant and not the wear of the part itself. There are some cars that will require a more serious set of disassembly works to get to and remove the bushings. In particular, some cars require preliminary dismantling of the crankcase protection. In practice, it is proven that it is more difficult to change the front bushings compared to the rear ones. This is due to the design features of the suspension of modern cars. In conclusion, understanding the purpose of stabilizer bushings is essential for maintaining your vehicle's handling and ride quality. Recognizing the signs of wear, such as unusual noises or a decrease in stability during turns, can help you address issues before they escalate. Regular inspections and timely replacements are crucial for ensuring your car remains safe and enjoyable to drive. By staying proactive about your vehicle's maintenance, you can enhance its performance and longevity. Thank you for watching, and drive safely.